Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. I'm one of the students, Morg.
I'm the other student, Devon.
And I'm the teacher, Dan. And this week, it's a fan zone week. We're going to talk about some more stuff by Hydro, aka The-Hydroxian. Just sort of catching up on Hangin Out. We'll be reading a little side story they wrote recently. And also just sort of like talking about the various OC and AU characters. But first, it's been a couple weeks since the last time we recorded, and there's been some news.
It's been a while.
I haven't researched all the news super thoroughly, so you'll have to accept some Cliff Note stuff. First off, Sonic Frontiers is in development. It is available for pre-order. It has been shown at events such as Gamescom. There have been places where people have been allowed access to demos, like at events and stuff. By all accounts, it seems like it might be a good game. It is slated for release this November. And it is going to cost $60, standard AAA price. November 8th to be specific. We've seen these weird little, stone figures that are reminiscent of Chao, but are not Chao. We know that, Sonic has to rescue his friends Tails and Amy, who seem to be in some sort of, like, weird stasis prison thing. There's that little girl who, has weird powers.
Sonic is being haunted by an anime girl. Very scary.
Yeah. Incredibly scary. We've seen that there are several different worlds, actually, not just the, Breath of the Wild tech demo world. We also know that there are stages where there are, like, things where you can, like, go into memory stages, which are just, like, little little more traditional Sonic stages that, you can, run around in. Because of this, the theory that classic Sonic and modern Sonic are separate continuities has been erased. They're the same continuity now. Presumably because Ian Flynn had to explain to people that, Sonic has to be able to remember, classic era games in order to experience memories of them.
I love the twisted world that is franchise.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know one of the things you might be thinking right now. Does this mean that, classic and modern are going to be, the same number now? No. Because we have enough of a hard time rolling them. I'm going to keep them separate for the sake of rolling, just because I still want to talk about 3D Sonic games, and I want to increase the odds that we can actually talk about a Sonic video game instead of a cartoon or a comic. The comics are going. We're on issue 53 now. It launched just the other day. I believe some side stuff has also gone up, but I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, I believe the 2022 special went out.
Yeah. The 2022 annual is up. Also, related to... we're getting some real moments with Surge and Kit. I haven't actually read the issues. I need to pick them up. I can't immediately think of any other news. Nothing immediately coming to mind in terms of merch or promotional stuff. So I think we'll stick with that.
It's also been a while for us, even if it hasn't been for the listeners, so we're not 100% sure what we've talked about since then.
Yeah.
To be fair, so there might be, like, stuff we're missing.
Yeah, I'm looking around. I do think now that, something that might have happened by now was they did, like, a little encore on tour of, the, Sonic concert thing from last year. I don't know too much about this beyond that. Let's talk about some fan comics. First up, we're gonna catch up with Hangin' Out.
Rouge is here.
Rouge is here. When we last left our heroes, Rouge was stealing an emerald. And she gets a hold of it, but is, interrupted by Cubot. Or not Cubot, Orbot, sorry. He's, like, going on some eloquent villain stuff. He's wondering why she needs this so badly. She does say she's not doing it for Gun, she's not doing it for, someone who hired her, she just wants it. Her motivation is
Girl
literally
boss.
just, it's pretty and nice to have, and I appreciate that.
Can we appreciate that when she gets in here, Orbot is sitting in a nice recliner in what is supposed to be the Emerald Vault? How long was he gonna wait in that recliner?
Probably hours.
Sitting there,
Maybe he's been
I
there
know
the whole
someone's
day.
gonna... Yeah, he's sitting there like, I know someone's gonna steal this. It's gonna be so funny when I'm in my recliner.
I wonder what, like, if time matters even that much to him, since he's a robot, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, do you think he was, like, in sleep mode until the door opens?
Maybe. He could have been, and then, like, the door jostled him like a mouse on a computer,
Yeah,
like,
you know?
Time to engage recliner mode.
Time to engage in my evil monologue.
My evil monologue about how I'm good, though.
Yeah, I was like, it's evil, but it's good, but it's evil, but it's good.
Sometimes
also.
you get programmed with evil monologues, but you're good. You know?
Yeah, you know how it is.
Or,
You know
like,
how it
good in
goes.
quotation marks, you know?
Well, you know, as good as neoliberalism goes, you know.
You're like Joe Biden good.
Yeah, he has to, like, he had to
Oh,
patch
could
in
you
the-
imagine
just-
Orbot saying some deranged Joe Biden shit?
Oh no! Like having a
Act-
corn pop story of his own. Oh no.
Orbot being
Why
like,
is that
oh yeah,
funny?
there was this one time where I was with my dad and I saw two people holding hands and I said, Dad, what's that? And he said, well, son, they're gay.
Yeah.
And his dad is Eggman, of course.
Yeah, Eggman was like, they're gay, Orbot. He was
They're
pointing at Sonic and
homosexual.
Knuckles.
He needed to find out. He reveals, he has another form. You see, when Eggman's got those, like, big, huge boss robots, he can't control them entirely by himself. He needs, like, an AI to, like, support him. To, like, maintain the various extremely complex controls. This results in very predictable patterns. Much like how you would when you fight a boss in a video game.
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
he just rolls into this other form of his, which is a big, huge dragon robot. I believe it is the Egg Dragoon from Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah, and he can do it because they, like, reprogrammed it so that, like, they could use his AIs. It's like, they don't need predictable patterns because they're not being controlled by Eggman. Something like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
But he's a robot dragon.
He's a big fucking robot dragon, and it's great.
Yes.
So, Rouge and Orbot duke it out for a couple pages.
Did we mention that Rouge is currently wearing a DBZ Power Scouter right now?
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, she sure is.
She's got, like, a scouter and, like, a sort of cat suit, but not, like, a skin-tight cat suit. Just one that looks hot in a normal way.
Yeah. She's part of the fucking Frieza Force now.
Yeah. She's reading his power levels. I swear to God, there's... Oh, right! I remember now. I think there's, like... It's, like, a specific power-up from, Sonic Adventure 2. Where she gets a scouter.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's just canonical. Okay.
Yeah.
She just canonically has a DBZ Power Scouter.
And it's sure, like, it looks great. Like, the coloring that, Hydro does for, like, the battle is just, like, super sick. Because it's, like, very, like, neon colors.
It's giving, like, strong, like, part 4 JoJo vibes. Or, like, part 2, wherever it would just go, like, crazy with the color palette for no reason.
Yeah.
Just to be like, this shit's crazy.
Yeah, like, they still stick... The characters themselves still stick to a general color palette, but, like, when all of these, like, cool effects he uses, like his drill or the various blasts and attacks, the background just goes wild. The lighting completely changes. It looks amazing.
I like,
also,
he calls out his attacks.
Yeah.
And they're different colors.
Yeah, because this is anime.
Yeah, they're the various, like, wisp powers from Sonic Colors. He explains that he made a synthetic version of that. It assures you that it's clean, it's stable, cruelty-free.
So I assume he didn't use the wisps.
Yeah. He didn't force aliens to give him their energy.
Give me power-ups.
And then, like, Rouge is, like, losing rings. And there's just, like, the rings come out and there's little negative ones near them. It's funny.
It's very good.
Yeah.
But it's fine, because someone throws a can at Orbot.
Yeah, it is, ostensibly Metal Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, it's very interesting looking.
Looks exactly like Metal.
Yeah, they've got their iconic scarf and green sunglasses.
And we all know that Metal had a big heart for their chest.
Yeah,
and they have some, like, nice pretty eyelashes.
And what looks like boots on. Like, the lighting in the first panel, like, makes it look like they have boots on, which we all know Metal loves to wear shoes.
Yeah, famously, we've not talked about their naked-ass feet.
Not famously, they did put shoes on when they went to that gross-ass arcade.
They're like, gotta go fast, love killing people. And, Orbot's like, you're blatantly someone else. What?
I do love Orbot being like, why are you doing this?
Who are you, and why?
And Rouge is just so weirded out by it.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Rouge, at one point just asks, like, oh, can you do Shadow? Please turn into Shadow.
Can you get Shadow for me?
Can you go get Shadow?
I'm Shadow the Hedgehog. I stick Hot Pockets up my ass.
Here's some new lore.
Oh, that is, I think I might have mentioned it once, but there is a rather famous, online interview, from oneup.com, with Shadow the Hedgehog that one day we will read on this podcast. Probably not anytime soon because I want to save it for when we talk about Shadow the Hedgehog, the 2005 video game.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Where he says that he likes Hot Pockets in it, I assume?
Yeah, he loves Hot Pockets and, pizza rolls and, he loves playing Madden and Street Fighter.
It's true, he does.
Mm-hmm.
God.
The most 12-year-old man.
I wonder if Shadow loves playing 2K.
God,
I bet he
so.
does.
Yeah, I like that, like, so this person, like, knows their fucking Shadow lore. But
well,
yeah,
not all of it.
No, yeah. Well, Rouge is, like, losing her fucking mind, laughing, and Orbot's like, I heard he moved on to pizza rolls, so I don't know if this is a great,
This is non-canonical.
This is non-canonical.
Docking points for accuracy on that one.
Yeah. Orbot blasts, this mysterious Shadow the Hedgehog figure with a laser or something. But they get out of the way, and they're they're hopping around, they're transforming. For a second, they take the shape of Eggman, and then they reveal their true form. Chasey Destrew. Destrew? I'll go with Destrew.
I just know that it's Chasey. I don't...
Yeah, it's Chasey.
Oh no, their last name is Destrew.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah, it's our pal Chaos.
It's Chaos Zero. It's
our pal Chasey.
Yeah, I think from what I understand, they are non-binary. They use she, they pronouns. I think maybe I might be he, she, they, but I think it's she, they. So her canonical backstory is, during some, like, stuff with, Vanilla and Tikal, who we'll go over later, they end up recovering Chaos Zero, and, they're just sort of, like, amnesic, sort of a blank slate. They spend some time, under the wing of Vanilla the Rabbit, and eventually they find a personality they want and commit to it, and she becomes Chasey.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah, she's great.
I love that because like Tikal is like such a character in this comic. It's like, well, she's not just like hanging out with Chaos and the Emerald, and the Master Emerald. So what if they are both just awesome fucking badasses now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what if like two people who were like gods of destruction decided to like have like normal lives, but also they're still a little bit of freaks,
Yeah, what if we gave this character who's just sort of kind of neutral and silent the most gender ever?
They're very gender.
Yeah, strong like Janelle Monáe vibe, strong, having a great time. Love that for them.
So they continue fighting.
Cubot, blasts them with a laser. Or did I say Cube? I'm sorry.
Orbot.
Now I'm doing it. Cubot does show up, but
yeah, Cubot shows up immediately after. Also,
Rouge is very offended that Orbot did not shout out the color before firing this laser beam.
Yeah. Also, it's really good because, when Chaos, or when Chasey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Chasey.
Goodness. When Chasey shows up, in the background, there's, all these little Chow. They're, the angel Chow. And,
a little angelic choir. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. But, they're, actually there because Orbot, blasts a laser without, saying the color. And, almost fucking kills these little Chow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They all, scatter. They're like, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. So, Cubot's here. Cubot is also a big robot now. I believe they are modified off of the Sonic 3 final boss, Big Arm.
Yes.
He's also recliner mode.
Yeah, he's in a significantly larger recliner, just chilling out and reading the newspaper.
Love that, he's reading the newspaper, but he also just has his fist, on Rouge's fucking body.
He's reading a newspaper, but he's so fucking big, it's like he's holding, a little booklet. And thankfully... as Orbot is about to take out Rouge, Rouge starts sort of begging for help, saying she's in pain and she's being hurt. It's very facetious. She's still got some rings left.
No fractures, no broken bones.
Mm-hmm.
But this inspires chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Chasey, sorry.
Yeah, Chasey, teleports behind Cubot, says, Kimen, as Tikal did, in her fight, and kicks ass.
Hydro leaves a little note where Chasey says Kimen, and it just says, Death in Yucatec, Maya. And then it says, you would remember this if you read the earlier chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She just sort of punches Cubot so hard, he collides into Orbot, and
Orbot spits out the Chaos Emerald that he ate.
Mm-hmm.
They try to do a reference to, I forget what song, but it's the So long, farewell, Avita say, except Chasey's just and toodles!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rouge isn't happy about that.
Yeah. But just as Chasey grabs the emerald, Orbot sort of grabs her arm and starts explaining his ideology. You see, and as we have said many times before, it is conquering the world through kindness, aka neoliberalism. Just sort of going into agreements with people, just sort of helping them, but secretly just sort of goading them into giving them control by through environmentalism and infrastructure.
Yeah, he wants to use the energy from the emeralds to give them power, tech run faster and stuff like that, and they've already started doing it. They've already started extending a hand, and just like making agreements and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Very he looks so like scary, like his little scary face when he's explaining this is great.
He's programmed to give evil monologues. It's not his fault.
Mm-hmm. So Chasey then explains her deal, which is the God of Destruction is a title bestowed upon her by horrible people who she fought against. She explained she is chaos. She and the Chaos Emeralds are chaos not in the sense of evil, but in the sense of, opposition to the
normal.
Just,
law.
Opposition to
Oppositions
normal and
to,
law.
like, order, like, if you think of, the classic example is, like, using, like, the D&D's, like, alignment system of, like, where you have, like, lawful good and chaotic good and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And neutral.
Yeah, and she's basically explaining, like, these emeralds, like, if you try to establish, like, a new world order, these emeralds are just going to cause chaos within it. That's all they can do.
Mm-hmm. She hands over the emerald and leaves with Rouge.
She hands it over, which seems surprising.
Yeah, it's
Rouge
surprising.
is just like, wait, I wanted that. And Chasey just says, I'll buy you, like, a quartz or something. Can we go?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just buy you another gem.
Yeah. So these gems are not to be played with anyway, Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
Orba, like, explains when, like, Rouge gets into, like, the vault is like, if these things aren't contained in, like, a special vault or field, they do just, like, chaos teleport away immediately. So what are you gonna do with it?
Mm-hmm. Rouge does not know, nor does she care, presumably.
Yeah, she'll have it, it'll teleport away, and then she'll go find it again.
Mm-hmm.
Except,
turns out, that emerald was an illusion. And in its place is a little letter from Chasey, explaining that she already gave away the emerald. Hope you find the other ones. Good luck. Bye.
Yeah,
Hugs
she's
and kisses.
like, you can have a different emerald. There's 6 more of them, just not this one.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun finding the 6 others. Good luck, have fun with your, like, utopia or whatever.
Yeah.
I love that she, like, prompts it someone else. Ask her, question mark. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it is sort of explained that, in this sort of, like, final panel for, the current story, Orbot explains, when the door opened, when, Chasey showed up at the start, you could actually still do, like, chaos stuff because it's, there's just an open window, essentially.
Yeah. It's like not
Cubot also
closed off.
Mm-hmm.
Cubot also says, like, oh, you think she switched it when you were talking about roads and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You were busy evil monologuing. You think she was just like, oh, let me just zoop.
Yeah. So that's it for Hanging Out for now. At some point, the comic hasn't updated in a hot minute.
It's been about 6 months.
Yeah.
From when we're recording, it says.
Yeah. Hopefully maybe someday in the future we'll be able to talk about it more. It'll update more.
I will be eagerly awaiting.
Mm-hmm. I'll let Hydra take their time since they clearly put like a lot of time and effort into making this stuff look good.
They're also putting some of their time and effort into a side story that we're going to talk about next because the most recent page for that one was updated 2 months ago.
Omega buys printer ink. It's a prequel to Hangin' Out.
We love Omega.
It's exactly that. Right now there's only one chapter up, but maybe it'll update, maybe it won't, but it's about Omega buying printer ink. So Omega is doing office work for Gunn because, they're a government agency. There's just as much paperwork involved as there is, shooting things and war crimes.
Omega is experiencing the existential dread of having to constantly print things.
He fucking hates it, and now he's, extra pissed off because it's not printing.
Yeah. He's about to, destroy it when Rouge shows up to just tell him to go buy... They have to go buy printer ink. They, go over how weird it is to, just do things that are normal instead of, the action of a Sonic the Hedgehog video game.
Something I kind of want to establish right now, which is something that's really cute and continues on. Omega refers to any piece of technology that, he meets with, pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
In this, he, looks at the printer and, he says, he is malfunctioning, and Rouge is it needs ink.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that Omega is just any machine that I meet is a person, and they do have my ire for not working like they should.
Yes.
To be fair, he does literally, is talking to several other robots in this comic who do talk back to him.
I know.
Have gender.
This little flying guy.
I know, I love that he, immediately sees any piece of technology, not even, the other robots, and it's you are a person, and you are pissing me off.
Mm-hmm. We meet this little drone guy, I believe one of the robots from Sonic Adventure 2, but with, arms and signs of wear.
He's an old man!
He's an old man.
I love
all the
that.
way back. Yeah. All the way back from Sonic Adventure 2, and
they call him an old man. That's why. Yeah.
He says that the printer ink is ready for pickup. It's at the supply store. They have an intern on the job, but they haven't come back. So if you could help him out, that'd be great.
Don't give
when
him
this
too
robot
much
walks up to him. When this robot walks up to him, Omega says, "Do not interrupt my seething," which is great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Omega is written like he is in the comics, which is to say, extremely good, violent murder bot who is, just sort of thrust into these situations.
He's very, sarcastic, kinda, without being, he's still got that, flat affect vibe to it. I mean, as much as you can in writing, of course, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, very much a guy who you can never tell if they're serious or if they're fucking with you.
He's just affirmative as usual, silver linings, thin, narrow linings.
Thin, narrow linings.
He flies to the paper clips. He's so mad that he imagines himself having eyebrows.
I love that.
It's so cute.
In my mind's eye, I have eyebrows of which to emote anger.
Even in, the author's note, it's author's note, Omega's eyebrows exist only in his mind.
Yeah, it's great.
It gives me the same vibes as Metal Sonic not knowing how to smile properly.
Mm-hmm.
I like robots who are I think I'm emoting correctly. Am I emoting correctly?
So he goes into the paper clips, finds the intern, and he looks a lot like Shadow the Hedgehog, except where there would be red is yellow. And he's very terrified of Omega.
He's terrified of the
Omega
dude
grabs
he was
him by the
talking
neck.
to.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, yeah.
He's terrified of everything.
He was grabbed by the neck.
To be fair.
Mm-hmm. Huh?
To be fair.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna... To be fair, Omega does just run up to him and grab him by the neck. Of which I would be also terrified.
Yeah, and then, like, points a gun at him when he realizes that he's an Eggman robot.
I love this, like...
He just immediately starts crying.
You fucking too, dude.
Just
This was my first day and it's already my last.
having a breakdown at the Staples. And we just get this panel of everyone staring at him. And the guy at the register just tells him, just stop making this guy cry again. He just
You
keeps
forgot to
doing
mention
this.
in the panel where everyone's staring at him, Omega does think in his head the ultimate cry form.
Yeah. He's the
It's so
ultimate
good.
cry form.
It's so good.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, he's a pathetic shadow android.
Mm-hmm. He tells him to state his designation. He says,
Are you
"My
gonna
name's
kill
Jeff."
me? Irrelevant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He does say, "My name Jeff,"
My name's
My name's
Jeff.
and Omega's not happy about this movie reference. He's like, "That's my actual name. I'm sorry. Don't kill me."
Mm-hmm. So he kicks Jeff, picks up the printer ink, and they set off. Jeff sort of explains his deal. He was like found in this bunker with other shadow androids. He's not really a complete android. He doesn't really know or understand Shadow or what his deal, or he's just sort of like stammering over himself, trying to explain himself, but like he can't fight, he's a coward, he just likes to, do office work. Omega accepts this.
Believe this little
stating
freak
that
for liking to do office work.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us must walk pathetic paths in life. It is not your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, man.
Yeah. They continue on back when they see a weird little raccoon bandit who is also a burglar. I think it's got like a big version and like a second smaller version. The smaller version just snatches the printer ink and runs off.
Omega's so
the robot's
bad.
name is Klepta. They're just like, bye, thank you, I'll take it from here, bye, and runs off with the printer ink.
We find out that Jeff sleeps in the janitor's closet at this point.
Well, used to. They don't let him do it anymore.
No, they don't. They
I
won't
thought he
if
said
gets
if he gets fired.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
He
right.
said-
Because he's like, if I don't return with this ink, they'll fire me and I won't sleep in the janitor's closet anymore.
Yeah. So, Omega is able to, grab the, like, little mini Klepta, and tries to get answers, is squeezing Klepta very hard, but, I guess we'll call them Cleep, since that's all they say. Cleep is unresponsive, unable to help. Omega is not having a good time, trying to interrogate this little robot. Calls Cleep a bastard. And then Cleep explodes. It's presumably of their own volition. Well, I suppose it's possible Omega crushed it so hard they exploded.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
But Jeff is able to do some deduction based on his work.
Yeah, he enters a Sherlock Mind Palace.
Yeah, he enters a Sherlock Mind Palace and knows of one engineer who had a similar like thief Badnik. They stole an entire cell phone tower. For the engineer, and that engineer's name is Miles Prower.
Tails.
And
Tails.
Oh, you know the guy?
Omega's like, yes, I know Tails. I kick his ass every day.
I mop the floor with him in Halo.
I kick his ass in Halo.
They play Halo every Sunday night, and every Sunday night, Omega kicks his ass.
Omega beats his entire ass.
I like that he's like, friends of friends of friends are each other, but I also kick his ass, so we're actually mortal enemies. Or we're adversaries, is what he says.
Yeah. They take the train to Tails' workshop.
Oh, yeah. So, and Omega complains about this because, he was trying to get, Jeff to use, like, skates like Shadow does, earlier, but he's like, I don't know how!
Yeah.
He's like, fine, we'll go the slow way, I guess. And I just love it.
It's just like, then, like, die, perish. I don't fucking know, dude.
I love this end drawing of this, like, section of the like, this, cause it's just like badly drawn, like on purpose, kind of.
Yeah, it's just
to invite ourselves over Tails.
It's just the Hotel Mario intro screen or opening cutscene. Just fucking saying, I hope she made nice of the princess to invite us over for a picnic. I hope she made lots of spaghetti.
I didn't even realize that.
I hope he made lots of Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
Does Jeff want to shove them up his ass?
Undetermined.
Who knows?
Is that why he's asking? He's like, I'm a clone of Shadow, and I am going to shove these Hot Pockets up my ass.
And the most recent comics are just like they go into Tails' little his little lab. They exchange some words.
Just greets them by like.
Try hard and loser.
And Jeff
this is how friends greet each other.
So true. And then Jeff is like, can you help us please? Badnik stole our ink.
Tails does the robot equivalent of an autopsy on the destroyed Cleep. And Tails is able to find an antenna, which will allow them to like get into contact with the leader by sort of pinging them. And like he's like, well, this could have been you did kind of blow it up in a way that could have completely fucked it over for an amateur. Give me 5 minutes.
So confident.
And Tails realizes Jeff is very much not Shadow. And Jeff asks if he can play Halo with him.
They're buddies.
Yeah.
Come to game night.
Tails tries to like put together a decent pun for between Bandit and Badnik. Cannot get it to work.
I know that struggle.
And they sort of like track down the location of Klepta.
I love this thing that's like, Eggman takes personal offense to printers and their accessories. Rightfully so. Stealing one is most unusual behavior for him.
Yeah, like, signs point to Eggman, but also not.
This little intrigue that Eggman apparently hates printing things.
So, the three set off on an adventure to, get the printer ink back. And that's where, Chapter 1 of Omega Bai's Printer Ink ends. With a little shot of Eggman and Metal Sonic. Who knows what's going on there?
I so desperately want to meet Hydro's version of Eggman.
They're an enigma.
I want to know what a fucking freak he would be.
Unfortunately, Eggman does not seem to be on the OC and AU master list.
One day, maybe, though.
One day. So, it is sort of divided between, like, the stuff relevant to Hangin' Out, all the Sonic characters, but also we've got some other OCs. We'll just stick with stuff related to Hangin' Out, although some of these I'm not sure if they're like 100% canon to Hangin' Out. I think most of them are, but not all of them.
Yeah.
So we've got like the ones we know from the comic. We've got Chasey, we've got Tikal, we've got Metal Sonic, Amy, Jeff, Sandy. I guess Hydra loves to do like a little one-off panel that further elaborates on the character. A lot of Chasey. Chasey's great.
Chasey might be their favorite by the fact that Chasey has a heart right next to her name.
But here's our first one that isn't in these comics so far. Splats. Splats is a badnik, a rabbit badnik, based on a enemy that was removed from the original Sonic the Hedgehog game. They are a survivor of a previous Sonic game. She looks cool. I don't think there's much to say about her as a character. Currently, she's rude. She's described as a sort of survivor. That's pretty much it. She's another badnik. She might be friends with Sandy.
Yeah, they do show her with Sandy, the sandworm.
There's one where she's hanging out with Tails doll.
God.
Let's see. Our next one, we've got Zero or Infinite, which we talked about before. We've got Waru the Werehog, who is described as...
Zero?
Yeah, they were in the arcade.
Oh, in the arcade, that's
right.
right.
I read off the whole thing explaining his deal. We've got Waru the Werehog, who is this big demon werehog, described as something left behind from when Sonic Unleashed happened. Just this sort of another sort of copy of Sonic in a sense.
I love that it's just like, Sonic the Werehog's still around, but he's just a separate guy now.
Yeah, he's just like completely separate dude who loves stealing and is rude, so he's my best friend.
Yeah. He laughs when he makes people cry. He doesn't have any friends because he's such a dick.
Perfect.
he thinks he's really cool, but he's not.
Great. Love a guy who sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Not evil, just a dick.
Mm-hmm. We've got Cthulhu the Nightmare, who is a sentient dark Gaia demon, I think is what he is. He's like a demon. He's from a much older concept Hydra worked with before starting on Hangin' Out, which was like a comic that was focused around Tikal. Sort of like framed her as like sort of like the antithesis to a demon hunter, more like a sort of like demon hunter.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, just protecting demons, fighting priests. There isn't too much on the character. Cthulhu is.
It looks
Cthulhu
like.
is technically. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was just saying it looks like they kind of just scrapped it because like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And Tikal was not the same Tikal that we know and love.
Right. Which
I will
fair
say
enough.
if you scroll down far enough, they are doing the JoJo Part 5 dance.
Yes, that one's pretty good. We've got some stuff of so Cthulhu's official backstory is he's one of the demons that plays like the jazz track that shows up whenever you do a fight in Sonic Unleashed.
Alright.
That's funny.
Yeah, Sonic Unleashed, one of the things people don't like about the Werehog sections is there's this one song that always plays when you get into a fight, but the problem is most fights end short enough that you don't really get to the good part. You just hear this sort of like little bit of trumpets that's like I'll type that in, I guess. Unfortunately, so you've just got this one song that is good, but isn't really, you don't really get to hear the good parts. We've got Phage, who we've gone over before. We've got Styx the Badger. Styx the Badger is like, it's like if Mulder from the X-Files was a cynic. She's this gun investigator. She knows about a whole bunch of conspiracy stuff.
Oh my god, it's the Styx from fucking Sonic Boom?
Yeah.
But like grown up, okay.
Yeah, she has a Pepe Sylvia mood board.
Oh my god. She went from like this little like wild child to like an investigator because they just like extrapolated the whole like conspiracy thing. That's honestly great.
Yeah, went from a little wild feral child who was running off of 10 cups of coffee to a tired investigator who hasn't slept in 10 days running off of 10 cups of coffee.
She's very clearly framed as her conspiracies are both trying to make sense of like the weird continuity of Sonic the Hedgehog and also the real life conspiracy series of the various shit the CIA has admitted to but no one wants to believe.
Yeah, she thinks Earth is a ring.
I mean, Mobius might be.
Isn't Mobius canonically a ring?
Yeah,
that is what a Mobius strip is. It's like a sort of ring.
I thought we saw in like a movie or something that it was like a ring.
It might be.
Maybe?
Stop.
Was that in the OVA?
Yeah. The OVA, I'm trying to remember. I think it's just like this weird pseudo-apocalyptic thing where everyone lives in like these floating continents and stuff. On islands and beaches.
This is so funny. I just came across one of the pictures and it's like Styx sticks with she's actually right about everything is like what she is. And the thing is like, geez, what's her deal? She listens to Spirit Phone.
A lot.
A lot. I'm like,
like
oh,
a
she's
lot.
gay? Oh, she's a homosexual? Is that what that means?
I mean, if she's based off of Mulder.
True.
Yeah. Three-way call in the bath. So next we've got Luke at the Exorcist, another holdover from the Tikal comic. Not too much recent of him. He's just like, he's an evil priest. He's an exorcist who like forces spirits to move on to the next life, regardless of whether they want to or not.
They did make a newish ref for them, though.
Yeah. Just sort of exterminating all spirits by making them pass on. He uses, like, rays of light, sound waves. He is also... It seems like a bunch of these characters from this, like, earlier comic sort of, like, toy with the various ways you can interpret pacifism, with Tikal preferring to not kill but be violent, others a sort of like technically not killing people but still very cruel. We've got just general pacifism where do no harm, and
yeah, or about doing neoliberalism for pacifism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Metal Sonic who wants to kill but won't. Yeah. So that's sort of like the gist of Luca. We've got Tara the gun android. She is a android similar to the Shadow android, but she's violent. She's a huge weirdo. She doesn't go undercover. She instead like shoots people with pistols, Bayonetta style.
Yeah, she has them on her boots.
Mm-hmm. And along with her is Tama the train conductor, who is another android, very quiet, very stoic, good friends with Tara. They
hold hands.
Sometimes they hold hands and Tara goes crazy.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Orbot, Iblis. Oh, Iblis. Iblis is another holdover. Iblis, big, huge demon guy, got taken from the doomed timeline from Sonic 06. He loves to smoke a cigar. He loves...
I thought he'd said he loves Rick and Morty, but no. He's saying, you watch Rick and Morty, I win.
Mm-hmm.
It would be really funny if he loves Rick and Morty.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's his deal. We've got Shadow, who we've gone over before. Breezy. Not too much of Breezy, but basically... Breezy is a sort of sexy spy bot designed to appeal to people who don't exclusively watch Rubber Hose cartoons. Hates Sonic, wants to kick his ass.
Wasn't Breezy in...
Yeah, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's supposed to be, like, drawing from, the Archie Comics version of Breezy, where she, like, runs a casino.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, she's cool. Cool. She's like a cool, violent robot. We've got, Oh, here we go. Cream and vanilla.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about, because there was something under Chasey's stuff about, like, how vanilla couldn't find cream for a while, and so she, or she couldn't find... Wait, no, it was... Never mind. Nope. This is about cream and cheese. I'm sorry. I got confused for a second.
Yeah. Instead of cheese, Cream has Chasey. From what I can tell, she's like a very weird kid, very violent, very tall for her age. Sometimes uses a gun. I think she's supposed to have a British accent based on how all this stuff is written. There's a very good image of her about to stick a fork into an electrical socket, saying Electra's power cannot be contained.
I love this picture, like, from a day ago, with her just, like, in front of Metal Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
Being like, cheese will discipline him if needed, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I love how Metal Sonic is making scary face here for no reason.
Yeah, he's just full metal overlord. Just trying not to scare people. And then we've got Vanilla, who is a vampire.
What?
Good.
She's a centuries-old vampire who does things like, she loves junk food. She runs a review bra style YouTube channel.
She's going to kill the HOA board for not letting her paint her house jet black.
Yeah.
Which she should.
She should, damn.
She apparently works with Tikal, for the, like, various, anti-demon hunter stuff.
I want to know all that stuff.
God,
that stuff
really,
sounds
really
great.
want. Yeah, I really want, like, other timeline where that's the comic.
Like, I don't necessarily, like, I totally get, like...
Don't get me wrong, I love this. But
I also get, like, if, like, it felt like nothing was happening in the comic, that, like, you just gotta drop it, but... There should be, like, a spin-off or something with, like, Tikal and Vanilla.
Yeah, show me Tikal hanging out with all the, like, evil monsters of this world who are also just hanging out.
Yes. I really want Vanilla to show up and hanging out. Or just... All of this Vanilla art is really good.
Can Vanilla, like, adopt Mike?
I hope she can. I think my favorite one here is, like, a mock-up of the Operation Soda Steel art with, Vanilla. Operation Soda Steel is a... I fucking love Operation Soda Steel. It was a project by some people on the internet in the 2000s where they wanted to have Baja Blast outside of Taco Bell. So they came up with an elaborate plan where they would buy just a big cup at the Taco Bell, and they would swap it out with this other cup that had a little hole in it, and in the hole led to a set of tubing that went through their, like, jacket and into their backpack.
God!
Which was
Great.
Full of 2 empty 2-liter bottles.
Jesus.
The goal was to, well, this is, like, sort of the unofficial art. I think like the final concept, it was like one of those, like, big water gallon jug, or one of those, like, big multi-gallon jugs that you can find water in. And the goal was to just fill this up with Baja Blast as much as needed, for the sake of having free soda. Soda, which, of course, in the 2000s only cost, like, $1, maybe $1.50. It's great.
Man, if I was a vampire that, like, could eat, like, anything, like, not just blood and stuff, but could eat, like, all kinds of shit without, like, dying, I would. You know? I would just do this. I would be vanilla. I would just eat a lot of junk. God.
I would also say things like my doctor says I'm a biological nightmare.
I would also say this, yes.
Yes.
Also, having a doctor is very interesting.
Yeah, I love that she goes to a doctor.
Yeah.
Just, well, your pulse is nothing. Heart rate's nothing.
I don't know what your deal is, but you seem healthy, so...
Yeah, you seem fine. Legally, I think I can declare you dead, but, like, I won't.
So, who's next? Let's see. I think there's... Let me see here. We've got, Buzz Bomber, an answer a Buzz Bomber Badnik, seems to, he's apparently a bomb salesman. There's just some one-off doodles of this, like, design.
Oh. Never mind. Who is this? When it says Orbot/Ergo, who's Ergo?
Oh, Ergo is...
Is that the dragon?
So, Ergo's... So, in Sonic Unleashed, which is technically Orbot's first appearance, they were like this same design, but they were like gray. I think they just came out of like Eggman's Eggmobile, and they said Ergo a lot, so people nicknamed the robot Ergo.
Oh.
I think like canonically it's like an earlier version of Orbot.
Oh, cool.
So Eggman just painted him and said new robot?
Yeah.
New guy just dropped?
And the last one, just sort of a quick summary. Bomber Barbara, apparently based on one of the bosses from Sonic Rush, ostensibly the final boss. She was made from a scrapped Metal Amy project that never got finished. She's not evil, but she does love things like smashing and fighting and crushing and punching, and bombs.
And telling good jokes.
Hydra loves to make a violent woman.
Fair enough.
You know?
Can't blame them. I think that sort of goes over everything. Like, there are other OCs here, but they're not, like, related to Sonic stuff. There's some, like... There's a single Mario OC, there's some, like, mimics that turn into, like, toys.
There's an
robots.
SCP.
Oh yeah, there's an SCP.
Interesting.
So, with all that in mind, I think, we're about an hour into our recording. Let's get into some fan letters. Or asks, whatever.
Fan letters is cute. Sorry,
nothing. Just a couple questions on the Discord. If you want to send in a question, you can either respond to one of our Ask tweets or post it on the Discord. We've got 3 from Jasmine Sidman. what would your snazzy clothes look like? In reference to this, I think all of these are sort of like in reference to this image of Chasey that I included. So I guess if you had a snazzy outfit like Chasey, what would it look like?
Either gay cowboy, or you know what? I'm gonna fuse my two. Gay cowboy from the 70s.
Ooh.
That does sound pretty good.
I want like bell-bomb jeans. I want tassels. I want a big hat.
Let's see. I think I would. I'm thinking zoot suit.
Ooh.
Just a big, cool zoot suit that looks a little oversized on me, but it's okay because it's cool. I'd have like a fun hat to wear with it. Yeah, I'll go with zoot suit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think, like, I would want to mix something like, goth aesthetics and, like, floral-y aesthetics.
Yeah,
and, like, I think I would, I think if I could do something that would, like, I don't know.
Like dress like a vampire or something?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I guess that would work. That is my, like, Twitter thing is, like, vampire boy right now, so yeah, sure. If I was kind of like a fancy vampire, but, like, also not just, like, in the, like, Dracula suit, but also, like, could mix in some, like, fun colors with that, and, like...
Yeah, you can be like a blood rose vampire.
Floral stuff.
Next question.
A vampire with a cool evil garden.
Or, like, pastels or something, I don't know.
Ooh.
Pastel goth.
Yeah, it could be pastel goth.
Next question. Do you have any fun OCs you want to talk about? I've got quite a few, but I'll just describe one. So I've got this, big ant lady. Her name's Mel. She's like a retired adventurer. She's in her 50s. She, runs a, tavern, and sort of like an Adventurers Guild style tavern. Got sort of like a pulp adventure vibe to her. Mel's great. I love commissioning art of her.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a bunch of guys. Like, I guess I'll talk about, I feel like I always talk about my, like, if I'm, like, given prompts like this, I talk about my, like, business person tiefling who sucks, but I love. So I'm gonna talk about, this person. For now, I've been calling them Kaida, but I think I might change their name. But, they're like, a girl on an adventure with, like, two other characters in a story that I want to write. And, but she kind of has, like, this, like, Venom thing going on where but, like, there's, like, it's, like, a demon-y, it's, like, more magical than, like, the sciencey Venom thing, but it's still kind of like, oh, they kind of, like, cohabitate in the same person. And it's kind of, maybe like sometimes they can, like, take over, like a Yu-Gi-Oh sort of thing too, like, but they, like, start to understand each other and stuff. So, and she's actually, like, on an adventure with the businessman tiefling that I had mentioned, who sucks.
Oh,
but like
cool.
learns to be a better person through the adventure. And they have like a third friend who's a little less well developed, but maybe, yeah, I don't know. I could like talk about them forever. I think I have like written a little bit about them in the fucking Digimon Ghost Gaze Discord, because there's like an OC thread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good thread.
Yeah. You got any OC stuff in?
There's this platypus who's obsessed with Eggman, kind of a
Okay.
fanboy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
The answer is no, not really.
All right.
You could make your own Dr. Starline OC.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just make Dr. Starline again, is the thing?
No, but
just a guy who sucks.
What if you had a character that was obsessed with Dr. Starline instead?
Oh, I know an OC like that. That sounds good. You could take...
So I'm like now imagining just a guy who also follows around Dr. Starline, and Dr. Starline's like, man, this guy's annoying as shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like love when you nearly killed everybody with a metal virus. Love that.
Last question from Jasmine. The picture you posted has an angelic hype squad. Who or what hangs with you in miniature to hype you up?
Those are Chow. I would love to have Chow hype me up, honestly. That would be sick.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the various minions in Final Fantasy, and
I want the
various
minions
funny
to hype
little
me up.
guys. Oh, the minions, of course. Yes.
I want them to hype me up because you said minions. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I would be annoyed by them eventually, but like for a day, I'd want them to hype me up, and then I'd be like, okay, you can move on to someone else, please.
Yeah, find someone more evil. Go back to Gru, or maybe hook up.
Go back in your cave.
Mm-hmm.
Go
go back into the ocean.
The cave they go in during World War II kills me.
Yeah, please avoid being the servants of Hitler. Go into your cave.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No, the be Putin's fucking minions.
Oh!
Sorry.
Putin found dead in Miami after this one.
I'm thinking for my hype squad, some fucking, I'm thinking the Vath from Final Fantasy XIV. Just because I'm thinking of the surprisingly robust selection of funny little guys in that game.
That rocks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look up the Vath. I wanna see what they look like.
I'm thinking for my hype squad, specifically, you know in, like, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, when Dust Noir had, like, his little group of, like, Sableye minions?
Kind of, yeah.
I'm thinking there's, like, a funny comic that goes around where he's like, go do this, and they're like, yes, your ugliness, or yes, your shittiness, and they're like, saying constantly, like, incredibly mean things to him, but doing,
your
like, yeah, I kind of want them, because I think it would be very funny.
That would rock. I would love to have little Sableye follow me around, actually.
Yeah, like a little Sableye who think they're complimenting you, but they're constantly just insulting you.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
God, I'm making the new, like, Dr. Starline fanboy OC, because that's what I want him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want him to just be like, oh, I loved when you fucked up real bad. I loved that.
Mm-hmm. So, I think, let's see. Next question. James the Cat Girl asks, if Chow became gods, what variant, other than Chaos Chow, would you like to see?
If they all become gods? I mean, you know I want to see...
Or, like, if a Chow could be a god, what kind of god would you want them to be?
I want to see one of those little devil guys turn into a god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to see that Kingdom Hearts boss they would turn into.
Right. So I'm thinking of gods. Oh, I fucking know.
They would turn into like the god of rudeness and mischief. They would just be rude online.
I'm thinking of the orc gods from Warhammer 40k, who are brutally cunning and cunningly brutal. So just like little orc Chow. They're like green and they have like axes or something.
If like they become like gods and like I feel like there's been gods in like tabletop games I've played that I've liked, and it'd be cool to like have Chow variants of them. So there was one in like several years ago now. We like had a bug that we killed as like and we kept like pretending it was like a martyr, and eventually came back in like a different campaign as an actual god.
Oh, that rules.
And so I would,
That's
and
good.
his name is like Skriddle or something. It's just like a shitty little like centipede. So I would want a shitty little centipede Chow, I guess. Bug Chow is a good concept.
Now I'm thinking about a Chow as a follower form in Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Ooh.
That'd be fun.
Let's see. Our next question, from Aurora Borealis, Casey.
Not Chasey.
Not Chasey, Casey. What item would you encounter wacky hijinks in trying to get from the store? Well, I'm thinking of the things I've had a surprisingly hard time getting at a convenience store, and I think it's gonna probably be a Rockstar Zero Sugar. Just desperate pursuit of a cold, sugarless taurine delivery mechanism.
I think mine would be things that were oddly difficult for me to find. Would be like oyster sauce for like making food. Because I went to like 3 different stores and all of them said they had it and all of them were out. And it took me forever to get some. So I think that would be, I would go to the store and there would be like wacky hijinks where there's one on the shelf and someone would grab it. And we would have like an anime style battle over it.
Mine would be Greek yogurt, because sometimes I go to the Aldi near me and sometimes they're out. So I always make sure to stock up when I'm there and I see a bunch of them. It's just like regular like vanilla Greek yogurt, like Aldi brand or whatever like the cheapest brand is, because then it's like, you gotta spend a little bit more on the different like ones they have there. Like they might have a fancier one, but it's like, oh, this is a couple extra bucks or like a buck even more, and it's like, no, I just want the standard like vanilla Greek yogurt. I like the Aldi brand one. That's just like the flavor I'm used to now. Like, so
yeah, you gotta get your simple comforts, and when they have them, you gotta buy all of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I eat for breakfast. I eat Greek yogurt with peanut butter in it.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Let's see, I think our last question for tonight. Memmy the Mouse, Emery. Pick a Sonic character and make up an AU version of them.
I feel like you're gonna make a Dr. Starline AU version.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Me? That's crazy.
Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
That's crazy. I would never.
I will deliberately limit myself to the characters we have met over the course of this podcast.
Oh, I probably should do that too.
I feel like at this point, even though we haven't met Starline, we've talked about him enough that we have met Starline, you know?
I've given
Starline
enough lore that he is
exists
just a
in
shitty guy who sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. He watches Rick and Morty.
Oh, he most definitely watches Rick and Morty and says that it's only for very cerebral minds.
He plays,
the AU where Dr. Starline goes on a Rick and Morty style adventure.
God.
Is he Rick or is he the Morty to Eggman?
Oh, fuck.
I don't know. I feel like it depends on the Eggman a lot, because, like...
Okay, you know what? I think he's the Rick who sucks and makes everything worse. I do think he, and this is slight spoilers for the current comic, he does, like, kidnap somebody and force them to be his Morty.
I thought you were gonna say it was gonna be your little OC that we've been talking about that follows.
Yeah, and he kidnapped my OC.
Yeah.
And he's the Morty. I mean, every single character in this continuity of Sonicness, there's gonna always be a version of them that's trans in whatever way you want them to be.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm really thinking of just, like, this, like, Rick and Morty style adventure, but Tikal randomly shows up and beats the shit out of Dr. Starline. Not for, like, any reason, just because she can.
I'm always interested in, like, adult tales, like, AU versions. Just cause cause, like, Tails is, like, so young, but it's still, like, such a central character in everything. So it's, like, I always kind of want to see, like, where does he go from where he's at now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Does he become a scientist? Does he become a woman? Many questions.
Does he become a woman scientist?
Does he become, like... I don't know, like, and like science in what way? Like, probably.
Does he become the new Dr. Eggman?
Ooh, yeah. You could make like an Evil Tales AU, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah. I think
He'll do Eggman's, but better.
I think I once wrote up something like that for an RP forum in the late 2000s. Also. An AU character I made up in the late 2000s, Silver the Hedgehog, but instead of an apocalyptic universe, he's from, like, a hyper-capitalist cyberpunk dystopia. I used his concept in a interstitial game that Morg ran some years ago.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna bring up that Silver, and then you, like, brought it up. That's funny. I was gonna say, like, after you were gonna talk about your, like, the OC, I was like, oh, didn't you make, like, a...
Yeah.
Silver? But yeah. Oh, that was fun. That was cute. It was just like a Silver with, like, a funny, like, gas mask, and yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of apocalypse, it was like dystopia. That's cool.
Let's see. That's it for questions. So I will roll for next week. That is a 9. So next week we'll watch some episodes of the Sonic Boom TV series. Which ones? I'll have to figure that out. Let's see. Is there something I forget? I think we've run on long enough that I won't do a little post-show reading of the encyclopedia. And instead, let's sort of take it to a close. I'm Dan. You can find me on Twitter at Bigger Challenge. You can find my other podcasts, which include, there's Pot of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast, we actually recorded earlier today. We're making our way through Season 4 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, which never got a dub. I'm very interested in what it's going to be like. It's definitely got a different tone from everything else. It's sort of like I would describe it almost sort of like, well, it is basically everything in GX coming to a head.
Judai got depression.
You can listen to, Video Games, the Movie, the Podcast, a video game movie review podcast I do with, my friend Maxie. Latest episodes on Doom. There'll be a Hardcore Henry episode that's been recorded but not uploaded. And at some point we'll be recording an episode on Pokemon, the first movie.
Oh, swag.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We talk about how sexy Mewtwo is.
Mm-hmm.
You should have Embry on for that.
Yeah, I think I will. I hadn't thought about it, but I should ask Emery if they want to go on, since
right.
A long time ago, Emery did a little video podcast where she drew sexy Mewtwo art while discussing Mewtwo, and I was on the second episode of that. There were only 2, I think.
2 or 3, something like that.
There were 2.
Yeah, I think there are 3.
Yeah, I remember they planned a 3rd episode, but I'm not sure if it ever shook out. You can listen to a podcast that I'm now on, that Morg used to be on, called Wow Cool Robot.
Oh,
it
yeah!
Is a Gundam.
Ooh!
It's a Gundam podcast.
New Gundam, everyone.
I forgot you were going to be on the Builders.
Yeah, I'm on the So, right now, Wow Cool Robot is going to be doing like a sort of like dual series thing where it like alternates between the series Gundam Build Fighters and the newest Gundam series, Scarlet Witch.
Oh, I didn't know they were alternate. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it'll be like 1 week will be Build, 1 will be Scarlet Witch. And I'm on with Yuria from the actual play podcast 6 Feet Under.
We're
We're talking about Build. Yeah, we've got 1 episode of Build Fighters so far, though it isn't really Build Fighters. It's of a web animation that was released to promote Gunpla for the 30th anniversary. And it's sort of like a prototype to Build Fighters. I am also now in the process of acquiring and hopefully soon building a Gunpla of my own.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's exciting.
Let's see. You can listen to... Actually, that's everything from me. You can also visit at Xbox_holiday, where Usher celebrates holidays with Xbox. Recently, it was happy Rosh Hashanah Xbox. Don't know what'll be next. Hell, by the time you hear this, it might be like early October or mid-October even. That's it for me. Morg, where can we find you?
You can find me at Haunting the Morg on Twitter. That's Haunting the MORG. You can also find me on my other podcasts. Forward ReZero, a ReZero Watch podcast. It's on hiatus at the moment, but the episodes that are out are good. But my active podcast is Digimon Ghost Gaze, a Digimon Ghost Game podcast, which I actually do with Emery that we mentioned before. The most recent episode from when we record this is I think the one on Aizmon, which, God, that episode's fucking crazy. Like, Digimon Ghost Game is like, does a really good job of like being like horror pastiches for kids. Like, it does a great job with that, honestly. Is that like episode with all the eyes is like very spooky.
Yeah, it's getting real comfortable with like the horror section of its theme.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just those two shows. Yep. That's it for me. Devon, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at GroovinGhastly. You can find me also on podcasts that Emmy is on. A lot of Emmy themes. Gone Will Hunting, and on soon to be released, We Rate Queerbait. We just have to finish some intro and outro music, and then I think those episodes are going up, so look out for that.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Alright. You can find us on Twitter at ShuffleSonic. From there you can find our Discord. Join the conversation. Tell your friends about this comic. Word of mouth goes far. And you can also visit Noisepace.xyz. Noisepace.xyz is a podcast network. All our shows, a lot of the shows we've described so far are on it, as well as many others, including this week's alphabetical shout-out, which I actually don't remember where we left off. I'm going to... Give me a second. Okay, if my judgment is right, and I might have to just go back and listen and figure this out next recording, our current alphabetical shout-out is Music for Molehills. Seda is here to harness the power of song to solve only your tiniest, most minuscule problems. There is 2 episodes, both from 2018, one from April, one from August. Does not seem to be active in any way, but the first proper episode is about dietary incompatibilities and closed doors.
I would be interested in that. Like, I know it's extremely dead, probably, but like the podcast concept is neat.
Yeah. You never know. Maybe the idea will be revived, or maybe it won't be. Who knows? And we also have a network page, which is dedicated to showcasing shows that aren't on the network, but are by friends of the network, such as Never Believe It. Never Believe It is a Naruto D-Watch podcast. The 3 hosts, Sarah, Riley, and Ray, seek to find the objective truth of Naruto, the narrow truth, if you will, of Naruto. It has gone through many iterations, including the original concept, which is a D-Watch podcast where they just only watch the filler episodes of Naruto and try to form a new continuity out of it. There's a series Oturanza. There was a series on clickbait life advice. At some point they decided to stop watching Naruto because they got sick of watching Naruto filler and made a little comic called The Adventures of Cowabunga Maru, panel by panel. there's something called TAOK. I'm not sure what that is. Oh wait, that's still it. That's the Adventures of Cowabunga Maru. Never mind. There's it's great looking at this era of the podcast because all of the album art is just weird stuff they sketched up. You can listen to their most recent project was trying to make the most wanted and the most unwanted podcast based on the artistic science project, the most unwanted and most wanted song, where they created a survey to determine what people want the most out of a podcast and what people want the least out of a podcast. They've only made the most wanted so far, which, as it turns out, the people who filled out this survey said that the two most popular genres of podcast are rewatch podcasts and actual play podcasts. So they did a rewatch of an actual play.
Oh my god, that's great, honestly. I was gonna say, they should play the game If Not Us, Then Who, because that is a tabletop game where you do, kind of a rewatch, but you're making up stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of sick. But yeah, no, that's great too, honestly, rewatching a actual play.
Oh, it's been 5 months since the Most Wanted podcast. I hope they get around to making the Most Unwanted podcast.
That makes sense, because Sarah's probably really busy right now.
Sarah is hard at work designing costumes for incredible television shows. I guess that's it for now. So until next time, Sonic the Hedgehog is real, he's strong, and he is my friend.
He is the only Blue Live that matters, along with Chasey.
The only one, along with Chasey.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Chasey is also my friend.